Imagine two citizens standing in the same polling station. On paper, their votes are equal. In reality, one has money, time, and connections, while the other struggles on a low wage and has never met a politician. This gap between legal equality and real power is the starting point of my presentations on political equality. Political equality is not only a legal principle, it is essential of quality of democracy and to sustainable and inclusive development. In this presentation, I explore how big this gap is and what it means for democratic governance and sustainable development goals. Political equality is usually defined as equal opportunities for citizens to influence public decisions. Robert Dahl describes democracies as a system where people can express their preferences and have them weighed equally in decisions making. In many constitutions, this idea becomes the principle of one person, one vote. But democracies is more than ticking a box every few years. It also depends on who can speak, organize, and be represented between elections. Global assessments by organizations such as International IDEA show that while many countries still hold elections, the quality of representations and participations has declined in several regions. The idea of political equality is under pressure even where formal institutions remain. So, who is not treated as a real political equal? The first group is those who are legally excluded. Migrants, refugees, and long-term foreign residents live and work under state laws but often cannot vote or stand for office. A UNDP report notes that many of the world's most marginalized people face discriminations and limited political participation. In some democracies, people with felony convictions also lose voting rights. In the United States, about 4 million adults, roughly 1.7% of the voting age population, are unable to vote because of felony disenfranchisement laws. The second group consists of citizens who formerly have rights but lack resources. Research on voter turnout shows that wealthier, older, and more educated citizens vote at much higher rates than poorer and younger groups. Low-income citizens often lack time, money, information, and digital access to participate fully. At the same time, wealthy donors, corporations, and organized lobbies can fund campaigns, influence media, and shape party agendas. As a result, some voices are consistently amplified, while others are pushed to machines, even inside electoral democracies. These inequalities fit a classist argument against political equality and even against democracy itself. From Plato to modern elitist theorists, critics claim that ordinary citizens are too emotional or uninformed to make complex policy decisions. So real power should stay with a small group of leaders. Joseph Schumpeter, for example, saw democracies mainly as a competition between elites for votes, not real rule by the people. According to this view, expanding equal influence risks populism, irresponsible spending, and weak environmental or climate policies, because citizens will always choose short-term benefits over long-term sustainability. My view is that this diagnosis is misleading. The problem is not that citizens are naturally irrational, but that institutions fail to give them equal chances to become informed, organized, and heard. Theories of deliberative and participatory democracy emphasize that genuine equality requires more than one vote. It requires roughly equal opportunities to take part in public reasoning and agenda setting. SDG 16 calls for inclusive, participatory, and representative decision-making, while SDG 10 focuses on reducing inequalities. From a governance of sustainable development perspective, the text is not to abandon political equality, but to deepen it. That means reducing legal inclusions, reviewing harsh disenfranchisement laws, and reconsidering local voting rights for long-term residents. It also means regulating campaigns, finance, and lobbying, strengthening public and independent media, and investing in civic education and digital inclusion so that poorer and younger citizens can participate more effectively. Finally, it requires new participatory institutions such as citizens' assemblies on climate policy. Political quality is a demanding standard, but without it, both democracy and sustainable development will remain shallow and fragile.